discretion is advised.
Hey everyone, this video is brought to you by Audible. Audible is offering you a free audiobook with a 30-day free trial membership. All you need to do is go to audibletrial.com/BGUnlocked. The link is in the description below, and now enjoy the video. Hey everyone, welcome to the discussion for Watergate. I gotta say this right off the bat, this game is actually really fucking good.
Yeah. It was mentally taxing.
It is. So, you haven't played Twilight Struggle.
No.
We will play Twilight Struggle because they just released a small expansion for it, and I really think you'll like it because it's about the Cold War.
Yes.
So,
I'm a huge history buff.
right.
Love it.
So, the game up there that I have, Pipeline, was one of the hot games for Gen Con. And a lot of people were kind of interested in this one, made by the same company. And when I went to buy Pipeline, the guy was like, have you heard of Watergate? And I'm like, I did. Can you tell me a little bit about it? He's like, have you played Twilight Struggle? I'm like, yes, that game is phenomenal. He's like, you have to get Watergate. Because Twilight Struggle has that same back and forth of two players just trying to get into each other's minds, play multi-use cards, which I love, multi-use cards.
Yes.
And try and like get the leverage and do a little bit better. It does the exact same thing as this one. What makes this one better probably for some than Twilight Struggle is this is shorter. Twilight Struggle's probably like a good 3-hour game.
Oh wow.
And this is simpler, but it still gives you that same feel of a two-player mentally taxing. Like, okay, what's more important? Do I want to go for the momentum, or do I want to prevent him from getting momentum? Do I want to go for initiative for the extra card and advantage? But with initiative, it's like, I have to place my tokens first, and you get to block me if you're going after, so you can see the path I'm going.
I did have a conspirator in hand that said block one event, but I'm like, well, I can't play events, so I can't block it now.
Yeah. So, with that being said, the game packs a huge punch in strategy in a smaller game.
Oh yeah.
So, I just wanted to get that out of the way for anyone, because we can't debate between this and compare it to Twilight Struggle. When I do put Twilight Struggle on the channel, that's what we'll do, the comparison between the two, because he'll have played it by then.
Yes. Hopefully.
Hopefully. So, I'll wait for us to play, because you've played this. So, let's see if, do you have any negatives?
I honestly can't think of any.
About this one. I can think of, it's not necessarily a negative for me, but I can think of a negative for probably some people. And it's exactly what you said on how you drew those 3 investigation tokens.
When I noticed at least 2 of the evidence, I'm like, so if it didn't matter the color combination, because you already had this, so literally you had to get a blue or a yellow, and I had a blue, a blue-yellow split, and then a yellow.
Yep, so that can initially, like, I think at first glance people will be like, oh, it's busted. He can just completely block me in ways like that. But there are cards in here that remove, in the evidence, there are cards in here that remove blocked tokens. But that's also at the risk of the player. So what I love about the evidence tokens is they're only secret essentially at the beginning of that round.
Yes.
Because as soon as you move it, it gets flipped face up. It's like, okay. So there was a way you could have technically stopped me if the cards went a little bit different. You could have, if you had gotten these 2, obviously you could have just immediately blocked them right off the bat. Because those are my only 2 strings to him. So that kind of gets rid of John Dean. But you
played John Dean a turn before I could take him.
You were going to get him out? Yeah, so that's just lucky card play. But it's also not necessarily thematic, but strategic, because since I know, and same with Twilight Struggle, you have to know what your opponent can do. That's actually a hindrance to this game that could also be a negative for first-time players. Because it's like, if I'm trying to do something and you play a card, it's like, oh, I didn't know you had that. It's going to seem unfair. Yeah. But that's, play the game's short enough.
That comes with playing card games where you don't know what either one could do.
So, knowing that, like, you have cancel cards, I also have cancel cards, it's like, now I know I have ways to bring people back, I know you have ways to Jeffrey Epstein them, so, so it's like...
Gotcha!
So it's like, my initial thought was, I need to get, because I was trying to hook Sloan to Nixon first, and I'm like, that's just one guy. So then I thought I need to get more informants out, give you less opportunities to block me and have more.
Yeah, whenever you only have the one, I'm like, well, I don't need to worry about them.
Exactly. So that's what I was kind of thinking was, well, because you have two ways to win. If I get all 5 of mine, which I get abilities through this, like, so if I get all 5, you can't technically win to get to 5, but you win if there's no more for these to be placed.
Mm.
So me going for 5, I damn well better ensure I'm gonna win pretty close because.
So basically, if I had got one more and then you ended up getting the rest.
Yeah, then you would have won that following turn. But there are things on here like this didn't come up because there was another strategy I had that I kind of want to talk about. But Watergate trial, draw one evidence token from the bag and pin it face up on the board.
That's pretty good.
Watergate hearings, remove one face-down evidence token from the evidence board and return to the bag. Impeachment, this is the 5th one, flip one evidence token on the evidence board face up.
Oh, so you can just
I can just be like, oh, thanks, man. Then I got that. So there's a strategy to getting those, but you have to ensure at least, because technically if this is on 0, it gets removed.
Yeah.
So then I have to be playing my cards to fight against you so you can't. So at least it's getting removed and then put back on.
Yeah, it was dirty when I was like 5, I get it.
Yeah. And the Gambit one ensures, because it's gonna, I feel like a lot of people think that Nixon is technically the unbalanced one, or that the fucking
broken one.
No, that he's not the broken one is what I'm trying to say.
Oh, is that?
But the Gambit card is just like, boom, I got it. And then I'll get rid of Conspirator.
Yeah, if I had 4 and immediately, I would have won.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
If I had one more and then just like, all right, I'm gonna play Gambit, I get my 5th one. I win.
You win. Yep, that's a very real thing. You have to have the conspirators to be able to do it, and you have to have one in your hand to remove from the game. So
that was another thing that I was okay. I don't know how many conspirators there are in his deck. I think
there are 1, 2, 3,
there
4,
6.
5, 6. There are 6.
So
you have just enough to wipe, but that's also, the game's not going to last long enough for you to Gambit a 5.
No. Like, I'd have to have an insane
like
amount of draws
exactly.
back to back.
And at the same time, you'll be using your conspirators, and you had ways, like one of the ones you got early on was you got one of these tokens that let you move it up one, and then you're like, oh, I'm going to use this for 4, and boom, get it to 5. It's like, okay, great. There was also a time where I had to make a decision of like, okay, because I know you'll win if you get to 5. I think it was your 3rd one that you got. I can't remember. But I made a conscious decision to not pull it back because I was like, I need to use my cards to get evidence on my side. So I'm like, I'll fight for the evidence tokens, let him have a 3rd one, and it was risky because it's like that could have been my undoing.
And if I had not caught me with the moving the green, I obviously would have won that round.
Yeah.
But it ended up not falling that way because I'm a good boy. I'm a real boy.
So I've played both of these sides, and I think both of them are absolutely fun to play. They play radically different.
I really liked playing as Nixon. That was fun.
Yeah, and I loved playing as the journalist because it's like, ooh, I'm going to get dirt on him. The game is, in gameplay mechanisms, it's not thematic. I'm just putting tokens on the board. But the fact that there's so much history in the back. And Twilight Struggle is the exact same way. Every card has...
I really like the fact that the cards have a paragraph for each of them that details what significance it is to the real story.
Yep, mainly the paragraphs are for the conspirators, the informants, and then the journalists. And then there's other cards, but then it says in other cards, just read the third-rate burglary. That'll give you the specific...
and then, all of them have flavor text at the very bottom.
I actually completely forgot about that.
So if you wanted to read all of what, or at least a synopsis, I would assume, of these particular things, it's there, it's on the card.
Right. Yeah, and I completely forgot about that because I would have been reading that too, but I was reading a lot anyway. So, let's see. So yeah, so the going back a little bit is to the negative. I don't view it as a negative because I can argue against it. But people might think that the 3 random ones are face up. However, everything for the most part is to players' knowledge.
Yeah.
So as soon as I can easily see on the board that you would want to block John Dean in this particular example. Obviously, that's the only other person I have, so that's going to be your connection. So I can pretty realistically think that you're going to be fighting for yellow and blue.
Yes.
To prevent. So it's like, okay, what do I have in my hand that can stop, that can prevent that? And at the same time, I didn't have to ask if there was another yellow.
No.
I that was a shot in the dark, because I was like, nah, there's probably not 2 yellows on there, and I just happened to get really lucky with that. And just based off card play, sometimes there's just not anything you can do.
Yeah.
And I just got lucky, because and that's another strategy, is you'll hold your cards, so card advantage is super important, and it's like, okay, I'm going to hold on to this 3 or this 4, because he might pull that back. And I want to ensure I have a way to fight for it the other way.
And that's why I actually think the initiative thing is balanced. I get an extra card, but you get to see what I'm doing first.
Exactly. And that's where it comes to the card play of multi-use cards. I can use the event and remove it from the game. Is this the right time to play this? Do I want to come out strong and just be like, boom, I'm going to use this right now and just pull all these on my side or something? It's like, well, no, because he might have cards to pull them straight back and undo everything I'm working on. This game is phenomenal. I'm
actually really blown away. I said before we started, I was going to like it purely for the history part of it. I love history. One of my favorite subjects. Growing up in school. But yeah, this is great.
This was one of those things that they actually rang true to their minute mark. Because they could always say, oh no, it's shorter than Twilight Struggle, but it feels like, and it's like, oh okay. But it is. Our game took 30 minutes. And, I mean, just based off 20 cards in each deck, we'd have a completely radically different game. It's I didn't get John Dean this time, so it's like crap. My other backup, which you ruined, I held on to, I played Baldwin to move that yellow down.
Because I played Baldwin to move a yellow.
Right. And then I had another one that I can't, McCord. Because I was moving a yellow down, and you played the card that canceled out events. And so I was like, not McCord, sorry. I played McCord to move a yellow down, then I was holding on to Baldwin, and you played a card that says you can't play events. So essentially what I was trying to do was because I was like, he's probably going to block John Dean. He's already going that route, but there's nothing down here. So then I was going to put Baldwin into play, already have a yellow on my side, and have another path to try and nab him. But you play the card that's like, you can't play events, and I'm like, ugh.
I held up the counter, and I was like, I'll use this, and then I actually read it, and it said blocks events. I'm like, shit.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and that's another thing. We were just talking about this the other day, was interaction between players. So this game is all about, it's a tug of war, really. It's like, okay, I'm going to move this here. Oh, okay, you have a card that moves it back to 0, or you're going to play a 3 that moves it there. And it's like, do I really want to waste my cards fighting back and forth and get nowhere? It's like, no. So, what's more important right now?
Say, with me getting a third momentum token, it puts me at the halfway mark, but also, it's still enough room that you're like, it's not a big concern.
Yeah. But then, at the same time, 3, 1 to 2, it's like, okay. But 3 is that mark where it's like, I do have to make the conscious decision of, okay, if he gets 1 more, then that pretty much halts me trying to do this. That makes me, okay, he's at 4. Crap, okay. What if then, okay, you were at the end of your deck, you shuffle it, oh, hey, you get Gambit.
I get Gambit.
And it's like, boom, there's my 5th, and it's like, okay. So, 3 is that sweet spot where it's like, because 1 to 2, it's like, alright, yeah, he can have it, but I should try and halt him, but
3 is like, alright, this is dangerous.
Yeah.
4 is like, okay, I have to take the reds from him.
Yeah, exactly. And I like the fact that there's ways to remove things because the most obvious one is you try and just circle him around, and it's like, oh, you can't touch me. Well, I have ways to get rid of those. I have ways to flip him face up, which could backfire on you.
Mm-hmm.
Because also, the other way that I could win is this could have been very much a strategy. Go from the same point.
Yes.
And so, like, imagine if you had this one face down, and it's like, oh, well, you're not winning, but then I get to impeachment, and it's like, boop, gotcha.
That is yours.
So, it's...
Well, would that not count? Like this?
Oh, that would have counted too, sorry, yeah. So, from an initial standpoint, it feels like there's just one direct path, but it's like...
No, like, that was another thing. When you placed here, I'm like, oh, he can use the path that he made for this guy for this one.
Yep. I didn't even think about that. I was trying to do individual ones. And at the same time, every single informant has 2 branches out.
Yeah.
And then I could technically go, if you really block, like, the direct path, I can go the long way and then just bring someone else in, and it's like, oh, hey, thanks for the work. Boom.
It seems like, it looks like John Dean has the best opening because he has 2 separate colors. Everybody else is 2 of the same.
You are correct. Everyone does have 1 color.
So yellow, green, blue,
but
blue.
At the same time, that's also easier for you to block.
That is true.
Because in the other ones, you have to get 1 specific color. I mean, he has 2 options. So, now granted, if there's wilds, like, obviously you can use him for either. So you could use him for a blue, but you have to fight for either yellow or blue to block
I never
him.
pulled... I'm curious. I don't know how many of them are triple colored.
There are 36 evidence tokens, so... I never looked at that either. Maybe 1?
None of them are triple colored. Oh, because none of them are that close. It's always 2 colors connected. You would never have...
Oh, yeah, you're right. Sorry, the triple color is on the card.
It's on the card. That's why I was like...
that's what makes it the wild. Yeah, I wasn't even thinking. So that's inherently the only negative that I can think of, and some people might be like, well, the deck is random. Not really. You can always do something. Like, I have ways to cancel your stuff, you have ways to cancel mine. If it's like, okay, fine. What I also really like is because you have 2 ways to win, I only have the 1, but at least I have the freedom of, okay, I'm going to use Martha Mitchell. Is there a blue? No. Okay, then I can still use my 4 to round back. It's not a wasted action.
Yes.
Which would suck.
It seems like there is a lot of mitigating effects that you can do. So it's like, well, it's wasted if I do this. It's wasted if I do that. But it has this third ability now.
Yeah.
So each card's got at least 3 possibilities that it can do.
Right.
And then, like, man, when I think about it, the Gambit card's really good, but at the point...
At a cost, because the decks are mostly events. They're mostly one-time uses.
Yeah, the 6 conspirators are really good, because 1 conspirator is my reaction to block your thing. 1 says move initiative token and the momentum token 2 spaces each, and then remove a face up.
Yep.
There's that one.
And those guys all come back. They get discarded.
Yes. So, like, I get them back, and then the Gambit's like, well, I have to out this guy so I can...
Mm-hmm.
So, game seems real well balanced.
I agree. And actually, you have 6 conspirators. I have 3 journalists. Every other card in the investigator's deck, in Deep Throat's deck, is an event that gets removed from the game. So it's like my deck very much becomes thin. So then I have to be even more strategic on, okay, do I want to use this event, or do I want to keep it around for a later turn and use it for its value? Now granted, I also have the 2, 4, 6, I have the 7 people that I bring out.
I have 7 cards to block them.
Yeah. So I think this game is phenomenal. Matthias Kramer, that name rings a bell, but I cannot pinpoint it right now. Here, let's see if I can.
Let's give her all Google.
Let's Google it up. So, Matthias.
Is there a price tag to this?
For sure. Yeah, give me a sec. Matthias Kramer, He made a game called Glenmore that a lot of people like. I think they just did a second Glenmore. He did... that's the only one. Well, Lancaster, a lot of people know. I have not played any of his other games. I've only played this one. So this game came out this year, in 2019. And...
So Matthias, fantastic.
He does, I mean, I've heard Glenmore is a lot of people's, like, one of the good games. Yeah, so Watergate board game. It is off Amazon. Let's see. It is $44.
That's not bad.
So, I mean, for what you're getting, it's kind of pricey.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Yeah, you're not getting a whole lot, but for the game, yeah, you're getting a hell of a game.
This is a fantastic strategy game.
Yeah.
1v1 strategy game.
And that's one of the things I love, because sometimes to get a solid strategy game where you're trying to get, you need more people. Like, sometimes they don't work as two. So, what I was talking about with the cards were that people might think this is random, but like we said, and Twilight Struggle is the exact same way. They do it a little bit different, though. Like, basically, if like, it's similar to this, there's an effect in, like, a value, but I think it's been a while since I played Twilight Struggle, but it's along the lines of if I use it for its event, because there's two types of cards. There's the USSR and the USA cards. If I use your card for its event, you get the value to use on other stuff. So you still have that, oh man, do I want to do this? And here, it's different because it's like, do I want to fight back and forth for everything or use its event as a one-time? So if people are asking, for me, like, should I get this or Twilight Struggle, you can honestly own both and be completely happy. This one gets you your quick, still head-to-head, but Twilight Struggle gives you your
long methodical,
like, really, like, that one's really strategic and very, very heavy 1v1 game. So, with that being said, do you have anything else on the game?
I mean, aesthetics-wise, this is all very nice. This board's cheap.
Yeah.
Granted, like, I didn't expect a whole lot from a box that big.
Right. I will say, at first, when I first saw it, I was like, oh man, this board looks weird. I really kind of like the cork board. Like, aesthetic. Or it's like I'm pinning, like, because the green is the White House tapes, yellow is the actual burglars, the plumbers, and then the blue is the actual Watergate investigation. I like that. The water is the committee for the re-election of the presidency. Yeah. So it's just like you're thematically, like, pinning and, like,
this guy's connected here, this this happened. Yes, like, it's all real nice.
Yeah.
The simple little, like, 5 here, 5 that way.
That's what makes it quick, because in Twilight Struggle, there are multiple paths to victory for both sides, but one of them is to get to 20 points. But it's a track where you have a 20, I have a 20, but it's 1 point marker. So if I gain 5 points, I go 5 on my side. If you gain 10, you move at 10, so you have 5 on your side.
Damn.
And you just fight back and forth. I really like that balance of struggle, because in this one it's just
it feels
quicker.
like a tug of war.
It does, and then I like how you don't have to hold on to the 5 once it's on 5. It's just boom, you got it. You don't have to worry about it. So, yeah, this game's just really good. So, scale of 1 to 10.
9.
9. I'm at a 9 as well.
Like, this game, I would play this, like, several more times.
Yeah. I'm actually going to give it a 9.5, and the reason I bump it up is because, like, the time, 30 minutes. 30, 60 minutes.
Really, like...
It's really quick and such a solid game. It's not a 10 for me because while we just raved about it and had virtually no negatives, there's still that little bit of oomph that I'm still kind of looking for. You still have a very solid game, and that's why I bumped it up from a 9 to a 9.5, because in a short amount of game you have a lot. But Twilight Struggle for me is a 10 because it has everything this game has. And more. Which, obviously, for the size of the box, it's phenomenal, but some people don't want to sit around and stress and fucking...
Oh, God!
Yeah, for 3 hours. And this game is an amazing alternative. So, That's it, everyone. That's our thoughts on Watergate. Let us know what you think of the game in the comments below. Other than that, like, comment, share, and subscribe, and have a wonderful whatever time of day it is for you. Hey everyone, thanks so much for watching this, and if you like this video, then click the subscribe button below to enjoy any video that I put out. And right next to that subscribe button is a little bell. Click that so you get notified of whenever I actually upload these videos. If you want to support the channel, you can definitely visit my Patreon page. The link is in the description below. Other than that, like, comment, share, and subscribe, and have a wonderful whatever time of day it is for you.